So I posted this angle of my car crash on Instagram. It got over 100,000 views, and the majority of people who saw it said that they thought that this was my fault. So here's the video breakdown, guys. It does look like I drift, but you can clearly see the white line right there. I'm in my lane, he clips me, then goes off and crashes into the wall. Here is the front angle to show you. It looked like I drifted because there is actually a turn in the highway here. So I'm going straight, I'm staying within my lane. He drifts over to my lane, clips my back end, almost fishtails me out there. I save it, and I continue straight. Here's the rear angle, just so you guys can clearly see. I had my cruise control set to 65, by the way, and he sped past me, so he was speeding. The gap he wanted to go through was closing because there was a slower car in front of him. You can clearly see he was over the white line there, ends up clipping me, and goes into the wall. And this last angle here, this is the right camera. This is just to show the orientation of my tire with that white line right there. It's very consistent until this point where I got hit. Of course, that's going to send me spiraling a little bit. So yeah, there is the breakdown, guys. Every angle. And I'm going to go more in depth with the accident right now. All right. For those of you who don't know what happened, I was actually in a car crash last weekend. A pretty bad one. Like, the entire freeway was shut down at one point. Like, the car that hit me actually ended up going like airborne. Luckily, I drive a Tesla and my car has cameras literally all the way around it, so I have some pretty cool footage of the actual accident. So I was in San Diego, which is like a 2.5 hour drive from where I live. I went out there for a really good friend of mine's birthday. We went on a boat, we got food, we all caught up. It was literally just a perfect day. Or so I thought it was. I drove out there with a date. We were filming a video. It was handcuffed to my crush for 24 hours. And I actually ended up not finishing the video just because of this car accident, because it gave me a lot of anxiety. Like, even driving home after that, I was not in the right mindset to finish the video. So that video might release. I'm working on it. It may see the light of day, but it might not. I don't know. So anyways, me and my date Sam, we're driving down the highway. I have the car set to 65 for cruise control. There's a fast lane on the left of me. I'm one lane over, and then the rest of the traffic's just on the right side or whatever. And a Mustang starts just like speeding up to us. So as soon as I hear this Mustang's exhaust, I like look over my shoulder, and then I notice like there's a slower car in front of them. I'm set to 65, like I'm in cruise control, and like I have the thought to where I should just like slow down a bit just to like leave the gap open enough, because I figured like they'd be driving crazy and they'd try and get ahead of us. My thought process was, you know, it's late, like I'm going the speed limit, like I'm just going to do what he expects right now. I'm just going to keep a consistent speed so that way like there's no accident. Little did I know that Mustang drivers have no freaking idea what they're doing. This was actually a joke I had with Corey before this accident even happened. Whenever we would see a Mustang, we'd be like, dude, watch out, like, Mustang driver. Like, you just never know. There's literally compilations on YouTube you can watch of just strictly Mustangs going to like car meets and just like spinning out, crashing, like that. You know, I hate to stereotype, but it is a common issue with Mustang drivers. But anyways, my thought process was, I'm just going to keep going 65. Like, he knows exactly what I'm going to do. Like, he knows what to expect. Like, I'm not going to speed up or slow down and throw him off at all. So there should be no issues. But no, that is not what happened. The guy sped up. He attempted to go through the like little gap at first, because the car ahead of him was going slower. Realized he couldn't fit, slowed down, and just swerved right into the side of me. Almost spun out my car. Like, you know how police pit maneuver? Like, in high-speed pursuits, police will like pit maneuver the people running, and they'll like come up and like hit the back of them and just like toss them. That's almost what happened to us. Luckily, literally the day before, Corey and I, we both bought really cheap cars on Craigslist, and we were just driving around the property, and I was actually like having him spin me out, like just for fun, in these like beater cars. So it actually gave me really good practice for when I'm on the freeway going 65 and a Mustang is trying to spin me out. Car accidents are a common thing, especially here in LA, where there's so many people, and like I honestly feel like it's way too easy to get your driver's license. But anyways, I'm sorry, I'm not the best storyteller. The Mustang hits the back of us, starts sending us spinning a little bit to the left. He bounces off us and goes into like one of those white like walls that like protect construction sites. and he just fully goes airborne. Like all 4 tires got off the road at one point. And then when he comes crashing down, sparks start flying. Like, I was able to save my car, so I'm like just looking back and I just see all these sparks flying, and I'm just like, this is not good. My biggest fear was that someone got hurt. I look over to Sam and I'm like, are you okay? Like, that's honestly the most important thing. Like, as the driver, I feel responsible to anything that happens to her. Fortunately, like, we got a little bit of whiplash, but it was like nothing serious, you know? So I'm trying to get over, like, cars are rushing by. Like, I have no idea like how bad my car is damaged, but like it's driving, so I'm at least able to like get over the shoulder. And as soon as I pull back, as soon as I get over the shoulder, I'm literally driving in the shoulder of the freeway against traffic, because I've got to go back and like see if this Mustang driver needs help. Like, the car could be on fire. Like, who knows? All the worst things are running through my head. I just know like I need to get back there to see if they're okay. So once I get there, there's a few cars stopped. Since he's in the fast lane on the freeway, there's cars literally like speeding up and like slamming on their brakes. Like, I hear tires screeching of people almost hitting this guy a second time just because he's at a dead stop on the freeway. Sam was really cool. She immediately knew to call the police to get them out, because this was just not a safe situation. And it took like, I was impressed. It probably took like 4 minutes for them to come out, and they literally had like the entire freeway like stopped at one point. They had a pilot cop car just going over and like swerving in front of everyone with the lights on. So like literally like it was 5 or 6 lanes of traffic just stopped. Oh, really quick, I recorded a lot of my friends' reactions to this crash, so if you want to go see that, it's on the newest mob video. It's like the shared YouTube channel we have. It's kind of like reality TV. It's just behind the scenes of everything that goes on in my life and my friends, because we live in a pretty crazy house. So definitely go check that out and let them know Charlie sent you. So we're watching this Mustang. Like, I don't see any movement inside the car. Like, all the windows are tinted, and like my heart is racing. Like, I literally think that in here I'm thinking he's either really hurt or like something even worse, you know? Like, I don't even know like what could have gone wrong, because like the crash just looks so bad. Like, I literally saw fire behind me as I was driving away. After a long suspenseful wait, the guy is able to climb out through the passenger side door, because his driver's side door is just slammed against this white wall. Like, there's no way he was getting out of it. So he gets out and he like runs over to safety in like the far left shoulder. And like where we were actually really lucky, because normally a freeway shoulder is like just wide enough for one car. Like, this was a huge freeway shoulder, at least on my side, so it was actually pretty safe. But on his side, he literally didn't have any shoulder, so that entire fast lane was just blocked off, and he had to kind of like go off over the white wall that he'd hit into like this like construction site. Everyone was 100% okay. I actually didn't even get to talk to the driver from this crash. When the police came, they interviewed both of us, and I got his insurance information through them. It seems very likely that someone was watching out for us that night. For the freeway to be shut down and for no one to be injured, that is just, we were very lucky. I actually have some raw footage of the accident after it happened, because fortunately I was filming a YouTube video and I had my camera on me. It's still really tough for me to watch. Like, I literally have anxiety now driving long distances, especially if I see a Mustang. I was doing everything that I thought was right, you know, I was going the speed limit, and it just took the mistake of one driver to almost kill 3 people.